What's going on, guys? Welcome back to the channel. Today we're gonna take a break from the Evo because we're waiting on the machine shop to get done with our block and heads, and we're gonna do some work to our boy Panzer. Now, since I got back from New York a few weeks ago, I haven't driven the car at all. It's just been sitting in the garage, and some of you guys have asked why I'm not driving it. Well, it's not blown up, but it does have a pretty gnarly fourth gear grind, and yeah, definitely needs a trans service. Been having issues. I've been getting locked out of gears a lot, and yeah, fourth gear is getting pretty bad. So right here we have the good old Vape cocktail. This is some Redline synthetic oil. So what we're doing is a 3-to-1 ratio. Typically for a typical trans service where you got like a really light grind or no grind at all, it's just time to do your service, you do 50-50. You do 2 lightweight shockproof and 2 75 W90. If you have a more severe grind, then you're going to do 3-to-1, and I believe the newer WRX 6 speeds can handle a full 100% shockproof. But for the STIs, essentially, when you have a pretty bad grind, if you do 3-to-1, it normally takes care of most of your grinding issues. So first thing we got to do is get the front end of the car jacked way up, get it on jack stands, and that way we can get underneath to the transmission, knock off, I think it's a T70 Torx little cap on there. Take that off, drain it all out, and then we can fill it with our Redline cocktail. Alright, switching onto the GoPro now. We got the car all jacked up. And we're going to be taking our big breaker bar with our Company 23 T70 on there, and we're going to go break this thing loose. So first look under the car, since we got it off the dyno pretty much, there is not a drop of oil leaking out of this thing, which is so shocking for a Subaru. Looks super clean under here. But if we move back here, that big T70 is the drain plug for the transmission, so we got to get that pulled off. Now they're normally pretty tight, so definitely have a big breaker bar, and hopefully we can break that thing loose. Alrighty, so the tricky part is not making a whole mess out of this. Gotta go nice and slow. Try to make this as neat as possible, because that's not too bad. Wait. Is that all the oil that was in there? Yeah, that could be our problem. I'm going to interrupt this video real quick to talk to you guys about Panzerbuilt. For those who don't know, I built this car kind of in memory of our German Shepherd who lost his battle to cancer the weekend I picked this car up. And yeah, I kind of dedicated the entire build to him. And it's gotten a lot of attention kind of through the social media platforms in the past few months. A lot of people have asked me when I'm going to do merch or anything like that. Well, that's kind of why I started Panzerbuilt. Now, it's not just going to be merch. I have a lot of plans for the future. But for this first launch on July 1st at 2 p.m. Eastern Time, I'm gonna launch these 4th of July limited edition shirts. And by limited, I mean I literally have like 30 or less shirts. Yeah, not a whole lot, so they're probably gonna go pretty quick. I don't know. But we're gonna have, obviously, a lot more launches in the future. I have big plans for this. But we'll see how it goes. I'm also launching these air fresheners. I've had these laying around for a while. Just some Panzer air fresheners. And also some leftover signed prints from when I kind of released it on my Instagram story a few months ago. I'm excited for this. Like I said, I do have pretty big plans for the future, but we'll see how it goes. July 1st, be on the site, panzerbuilt.com, and yeah, it'll be a party. So let's get back to the video. I jacked the back of the car up a little bit more to aim the transmission downhill a little bit, and it's starting to drain out. It's just very, very slow, but it is draining. So we're just gonna wait till that's empty. In the meantime, I came up here and cracked open the fill plug, which is gonna be hard to see for you guys, but down behind the AOS, yeah, there you go. See that hole down there? That is that fill plug. So that's why I went and bought this big old funnel that we can hopefully just run this big flex hose down and tuck it right into that hole down there, and then we can fill from the top. Also, the transmission drain plug is magnetic, and you can see we got a decent bit of metal shavings on there. Nothing too crazy, but yeah, definitely a little bit. So this is a stock transmission, and I'm pretty sure it's never been serviced. I haven't serviced it since I had the car, and before me, I mean, the car's been wrecked, it's been all over the place. So I'm gonna bet that it's either been serviced once or never at all. And yeah, I'm glad we're doing it now. Hopefully we can bring it back to life with some of this red line stuff, but we'll see what happens. Well, it's done draining out, and that's literally all that came out of it. The good thing is it doesn't look too bad, but there's like not even a bottle. I don't think this is even a quart. That's ridiculous. Now we got a bumblebee buzzing around making all sorts of ruckus. Anyways, let's get this thing freaking full on fluid. Shut up over there. Big ol' AOS is kinda in the way. There we go. That'll work. It's gonna take a while. Little hose to go down. But this stuff is super blue. No wonder I've been missing so many gears. Little girl had no oil in her. She was pretty thirsty. She's gonna be real happy now. Damn. I'm shocked that this transmission has taken all of what we've been beating into it with a half quart of freaking gear oil in it. How's that even possible on a stock transmission? Flat foot shifting on 45 pounds. And this thing's just taking it with no oil. Alright, now we're gonna slap in some of our 75W90. Look how thick this stuff is. Alright, one more of this blue Smurf's blood, as Bader likes to call it. We're gonna get that dumped down in there. I'm trying to watch, make sure we're not overflowing. I'd hope not. It takes 4 quarts. It takes actually a little more than 4 quarts, but we're putting 4 quarts in it. It's a lot better than what it was. Alrighty. Yeah, she's gonna be feeling a whole lot better now. Alright, back to the GoPro now. Next little task I wanna handle is on the exhaust. So if we get down here, we're making a lot of rattling down here on the exhaust. Oh, there it is. Okay, so looks like your little welds on the NVIDIA little placard thing are broken. So that's an easy fix. We can either rip that off completely or just get it re-welded, but it appears, yeah, that's definitely what's making our noise. So not a huge deal there. We'll get that re-tacked up there and be fine. We got one more thing I want to button up on the car before we test drive it. I'm actually really excited to test drive it because I think it's going to shift like brand new now. Now that we actually have some fluids in the transmission, if it's not already torched. But let's get the car back on the ground and I'll show you guys what we got to fix with our vinyl wrap. So if you guys look kind of by the scoop here, you can see the vinyl is kind of like pulling out and it's all wrinkled up right here from pressure washing it. That's how I notice when it starts to pull out. So what I want to try to do is pull the scoop out and then try to heat this up very, very carefully and fold it back down where it belongs, and then hit it with some edge sealer, and hopefully that'll hold it for a little while at least, kind of like what we did with the bumper down here, which is still holding pretty good. So let's get this thing lifted back up. Got a few little nuts to pull off, and hopefully we can fix this thing. We're gonna let that edge sealer kind of cure up a little bit, and then we'll slap the scoop back on. Not sure if it's gonna hold, but it's better than it was, I guess. Worst case, we'll just have to rewrap the hood, and that's not a huge deal either, so I'm not too worried. About an hour later, we let everything cure. It's not perfect, but it's definitely a whole lot better. And we just gotta get the fingerprints off this thing now, and then we can take old Panzer for a test drive. Alrighty, Panzer is ready for a test drive. But first, since we gotta move old girl anyways, let's take the Duramax for a little ride, see if the engine light comes back on. Well, that's not good. You guys saw, truck went into high idle again, engine light came right back on. I have no idea why it's doing that, honestly. Let's move it out of the way. We'll take Panzer out. I might be daily in Panzer for the next week or so while I try to figure out this frickin' Duramax. Yeah, I don't know. Feels so different. Oh my gosh. Way smoother shifting already. That's ridiculous. I'm an idiot, dude. I don't know how we didn't lose the whole transmission, if I'm being honest. That thing feels brand new right now. That's the smoothest I've ever felt this car shift. I'm such an idiot. I'm such an idiot. I don't know why I didn't do this before the build, while I was doing everything else. Alright, we'll do a little second gear hit here. pretty good. I'm pretty happy with that. Well, hopefully we didn't hurt the transmission too much. I think we'll be alright. But wow, what a difference it makes when you actually have some fluid in your transmission. Idiot. Made it back home with Panzer, all safe and sound. Got them all tucked away in the garage. So, transmission's definitely 10 out of 10 times better than it was. It still has a very light grind going into fourth sometimes. We'll see if that gets better over time. They say it gets better like 500 to 1,000 miles after your service. So we'll see. If not, we might be doing a trans service rebuild here in our near future. That's kind of my fault. Probably should have done the fluid change a lot earlier. But you live and you learn. So we'll get the Evo pushed back in here. Probably gonna daily Panzer for the next few days while I try to figure out this Duramax. I'm not really sure. It's gotta be something electrical, and I hate when it's something electrical. I'm gonna wrap up today's video right here. Hope you guys enjoyed. Catch you in the next one. Peace out. See y'all later.